Get ready and hold on tight because this is, of course, the Russell Brown Show. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be discussing some new features found in Adobe Photoshop CS4. And in particular, I'm going to be discussing one feature called spherical panoramas. As you see here, I'm inside of a spherical space and I can look around using the tools found in my tool panel. But wait, I started this project with a 2D image that's being projected into this space. And that's right over here. So I start with a 2D image and then I can project it onto 3D surfaces. For example, here from the 3D menu and down to New Shape from Layer, I could select something like a donut. And I can project this 2D image around the donut and of course use my tools once again to rotate and turn this around, just like this. But that's no fun. We want to project this inside of a room and then go into the room and look around. That can be done again from the 3D menu over to New Shape from Layer and this feature right here, Spherical Panorama. Just like that. And we now will enter the room. But check this out. I'd like to have a little bit wider view within my room. So clicking here on my tool panel, I can go down here to the 3D zoom tool right there. Then I can change the millimeter view of my room, just like changing the millimeter lens on your camera. I'm going to change this to 20 millimeters, hit my enter key, and now I have a little bit wider view of my room. And then using, of course, my 3D orbit tool once again here, I can start to look around the room like this. And in fact, I want to show you something in particular, and that's the ceiling. Now, when these images were taken of this room, they could not combine the ceiling with the other panoramic images, which were merged, of course, together inside of Photoshop. The distortion going to the ceiling was just too extreme. So they took a separate photograph here of the ceiling itself. And so I want to combine this second 2D image and bring it into a 3D space. So to do that, I'm going to click here on the elliptical marquee tool, click and hold on the center, and hold down my Option or my Alt key and the Shift key and make a selection just like this. Then another great feature right here is the Refine Edge feature. I can refine the edge of any current selection. I can adjust the feathering here, all the way up here, till I have a nice soft edge so it blends into my room. I click OK. Then from my edit menu, I can of course copy this selection and go back over here and paste it in. But before I do that, I need to have a little bit wider view, because when I paste objects in, I need to see the entire area that it's going to paste into. So once again, I'm selecting my 3D zoom tool right here, clicking and holding on the screen and then moving up. It then expands my view just like this. I need to see the entire top of my room as you see here. And of course I'm doing this with my camera tools over here on my tool panel. Okay, now from the edit menu, paste. So the ornament for the ceiling is now sitting there, but it's a separate layer floating over my 3D space. What I want to do now is to transform this. From the edit menu, free transform. Hold down the Shift key on my keyboard and the Option or Alt key to constrain this from the center like that. Move it into position like this. I now hit the Enter key to resolve the shape like this. Of course, you can see that you can still move it around. And in this case, I want to center it right here in the top of the room, just like that. And then all I have to do now to merge this into the 3D world is to, of course, go over here to the flyout menu, here under the Layers panel, and select Merge Down. It's that easy. So you can take a 2D image and project it onto a 3D surface. And now if I go over and select my 3D orbit tool again, you can see that I can now move around and I can see that the ornament is now part of the room. Fantastic. Let's change our focal length here of our zoom tool right here. Let's go back to that 20 millimeter lens, entering that in, and then we can go back over here and select our 3D orbit tool and start to move around the room again and take a look at this. You can then, of course, now bring in additional images and copy and paste them and merge them into this space. That's fantastic. And when you're all done with a project like this, what can you do? Well, check this out. If I go back over to Adobe Bridge, I created and exported a movie here from this actual file. If I double click on this, you can see that here is a QuickTime movie, and I've used some of the new features found in Adobe Photoshop CS4 to animate a 3D world, and in this case my 3D spherical panorama, and I can go from the inner space of that room to the outer space. So you've just seen some great new features found in Adobe Photoshop CS4 for creating 3D experiences.